Good morning. My name is Rupa Nampalli, Realtor with Remax One. In today's episode, I will take a look at what the 2022 housing market looks like, New Jersey market update, Fannie Mae forecast for the rest of the year and for 2022. Hope you will stay tuned to watch the full episode. Please do subscribe to my channel to get your weekly updates on current real estate matters. Before we can move forward as to what is going on in real estate at the macro level, let's see how New Jersey performed for the month of August 2021. One-year change in all closed sales for all properties decreased by 6%. One-year change in total inventory for all properties decreased by 25.3%, and one-year change in median sales price for all properties increased by 12.9%. Single-family closed sales were down 10.3% to 8,801 units. Townhouse condo closed sales were up 10.9% to 2,718 units. Adult community sales were down 10.3% to 711 units. Single-family median sales price increased 12.9% to 461,000. Townhouse condo median sales price increased 9.1% to 315,000. Adult communities median sales price increased 23.4% to 290,000. According to the Commerce Department, in new construction, home builders continue to struggle to meet buyers' demand as housing starts nationwide dropped 7% last month. Single-family home construction declined 4.5%, and multifamily home construction, which includes condos and apartment buildings, was also down, falling by 13%. Labor shortages, rising material costs, and supply chain setbacks continue to challenge builders, with some projects temporarily paused due to availability and cost of materials. Existing home sales retreated in August, breaking 2 straight months of increases. According to National Association of Realtors, each of the 4 major U.S. regions experienced decline on both month-over-month and year-over-year. Total existing home sales completed transactions that included single-family homes, townhomes, condominiums, and co-ops fell 2% from July to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 5.88 million in August. Year-over-year sales dropped 1.5% from a year ago. According to Lawrence Yun, NAR's chief economist, sales slipped a bit in August as prices rose nationwide. Although there was a decline in home purchases, potential buyers are out and about searching, but much more measured about their financial limits and simply waiting for more inventory. High home prices make for an unbalanced market, but prices would normalize with more supply. Securing a home is still a major challenge for many prospective buyers. A number of potential buyers have merely paused their search, but their desire and need for a home remain. Total housing inventory at the end of August totaled 1.29 million units, down 1.5% from July's supply and down 13.4% from 1 year ago. Unsold inventory sits at 2.6 months supply at the current sales pace, unchanged from July but down from 3 months in August 2020. The median existing home price for all housing types in August was $356,700, up 14.9% from August 2020, which was at $310,400. This marks 114 straight months of year-over-year gains. Sales of existing homes were stronger than expected in July, but Fannie Mae forecasters expect homebuyer demand to cool off for the rest of the year and next, citing the lack of homes for sale as the primary impediment to sustained growth. In their latest monthly forecast, they now project home sales will grow by 3.3% this year to 6.68 million homes, up from August forecast of 3.1% annual growth. Several indicators of home sales activity, including purchase mortgage applications and pending home sales, point to near-term softening. Fannie Mae forecasters said, with the annual pace of existing home sales expected to drop to about 5.7 million homes for the rest of the year. That's down from peak pace of 6.66 million existing home sales per year seen during the final 3 months of 2020. There was only 2.6 months supply of listings on the market in July, and new listings are still coming on the market at the same rate as 2019, too slow to maintain the pace of the sales seen during July. A monthly Fannie Mae survey of homebuyer sentiments remain near historic lows, as those say it's a bad time to buy are likely to cite high home prices and a lack of supply as their primary rationale. Fannie Mae economists expect the double-digit annual home price appreciation seen during much of the pandemic to cool dramatically, but not until next year. They are not expecting inventories to swell dramatically because of foreclosures or new home constructions either. About 1.6 million homeowners who put their mortgage payments on hold during the pandemic will soon lose their protection of forbearance programs and a moratorium barring foreclosure proceedings against homeowners with federally backed mortgages, which expired at the end of July. But they anticipate only a modest increase in the number of homes placed on the market as the foreclosures moratorium ends. This is in part because of an improving labor market and high levels of home equity. Of course, some share of homes in forbearance will likely end up listed for sale, but given existing supply tightness, we do not believe the end of the moratorium will fundamentally change the sales pace or the path of the house price appreciation over the next year. They project sales of new and existing homes will fall 1.8% in 2022 to 6.557 million. Home builders continue to face supply constraints, including a shortage of workers in skilled trades that led Fannie Mae economists to push back some of the new housing sales they expected to see in the fourth quarter back to 2022. Although Fannie Mae projects new home sales will grow by 11.5% next year to 881,000, that would not be enough to offset projected 3.6% drop in existing home sales to 5.676 million. Fannie Mae chief economist Doug Duncan said his team expects inflation to remain elevated next year and that rising home prices and rents could create additional pressure. Given the strength of recent house price appreciation and rent growth, we continue to believe that the contribution from housing to underlying inflation has yet to be fully realized within the official measures of the inflation. Furthermore, affordability remains a challenge even with mortgage rates near historic lows if the pace of income growth doesn't keep up with the inflation and interest rates rise more than expected. We expect housing activity to slow from our current projections. Given the low interest rates and low inventory, as per the expert, we will not see housing market crash we have experienced in the late 2000s. Home prices will increase in double digits until next year, but the sales of the homes will cool off at the same time. The question to ask, at what price would you be crazy not to sell your home for? Call me to answer all your questions in regards to selling your home or purchasing a home at 732-397-9185. Have a nice week ahead.